Raindrops pelted the ground as if mourning her pain. She stood at the water's edge, her hands trembling, staring into the abyss below. Without hesitation, she stepped forward, allowing the icy water to consume her. Her final breath was a scream of sorrow, lost in the storm that raged above. The next morning, the villagers found her gown, floating on the surface, but her body was never recovered. The villagers who live near the lake have long avoided it after sundown. They believe that the soft whisper of the water at night is not just the wind. It is the voice of the Rusalka calling for her next victim. Many years ago, a small village thrived near the lake, but one by one, young men started to vanish. Those who wandered too close to the water would hear the soft, enchanting melody of a woman singing. Those who followed the voice would never seen again. One evening, an old man sat by the fire, recounting an ancient tale passed down through generations. It was the story of Ivana, a young woman known for her unparalleled beauty. Her long black hair cascaded like silk, her eyes were the color of the morning sky, and her voice was so mesmerizing that even birds would fall silent to listen. But her fate was sealed the night she fell in love with a nobleman who never truly loved her. The man promised marriage, but one fateful evening, Ivana saw him in the arms of another woman. Heartbroken, she fled to the lake, her white gown trailing behind her in the cold rain. Days after Ivana's disappearance, strange occurrences began haunting the village. Young men who walked alone at night reported hearing a woman's song drifting through the wind. The melody was soft, hauntingly beautiful and hypnotic. And then they vanished. By dawn, only their footprints remained on the damp earth, leading straight into the water. The villagers soon believed that Ivana had returned as a Rusalka, a spirit of the lake who seeks revenge on those who remind her of the man who betrayed her. One such man was Eerie, a young villager known for his courage, determined to prove that the tales were mere superstition. He set out one moonlit night, armed with a lantern and a small dagger. He stepped cautiously toward the lake, the cold wind nipping at his skin. His eyes scanned the darkness, searching for any sign of movement. Nothing, just the reflection of the moon on the still water. And then he heard it. Eerie froze. The song was unlike anything he had ever heard. It was sorrowful, yet beautiful, an impossible combination that sent chills down his spine. Without realizing it, he took a step closer. The water lapped gently at his boots, but he didn't care. He had to find the source of that voice. A sudden chill settled over the air. The temperature plummeted, his breath turning to mist. The flame in his lantern flickered and died, plunging him into total darkness. Panic crept into his chest. He wanted to turn back, to run, but his body refused to move. Then he saw her. A shadow in the water. A figure slowly rising, hair draped over her face, soaking wet. Her white gown floated eerily above the surface, defying the laws of nature. Eerie was frozen in place. She took a step forward, her movements unnatural, silent. Then, in an instant, her face was revealed. Pitch black eyes, hollow and lifeless, skin pale as death, lips torn open in an unnatural grin. Her hands lifted, long claw-like nails dripping with freezing water. By morning, Eerie was gone. The villagers found his footprints at the water's edge, his lantern, lying lifeless on the ground. No body. From that night on, no one dared to approach the lake. But the legend of the Rusalka never died, and some fools, blinded by curiosity, would always ignore the warnings. As the mist thickens and the forest closes in, the journey has only just begun. But something stirs in the shadows, waiting. Will the traveler escape the curse of the lake? Or will the ancient force claim him? The terror has only begun. To uncover the truth, continue the journey in part 2. Click the video in the top right corner to watch part 2 and find out what happens next. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss any of our creepy stories. Also, turn on the notification bell. See you on the next video. And remember, never be alone in the dark.